Hi there, I'm Mrs. Goose. Welcome to Mrs. Goose's Goodies. Today I'm going to be making some gluten-free vanilla cupcakes. I have done a vanilla cupcake recipe in the past, and you can click on the link if you want to have a look at that. It's the same recipe, and the only thing I've needed to change out is my flour. So I'm going to be using Bob's Red Mill gluten-free flour, 1-to-1 baking flour, which means that you don't need to add anything else in. It's all ready to go 1-for-1. It's a little bit more expensive, I find, but it's fantastic. You don't need to worry about it being gritty or not rising properly or not working the same way that you used to. Fantastic flour. So that's what I'm going to be substituting to make this gluten-free cupcakes. So we've got our flour, we've got sugar, we've got our vegetable shortening, we've got milk, we've got baking powder, and my baking powder says gluten-free. Just check because it should be, but just in case. We've got some salt, vanilla extract, we've got almond extract, and then I've got my eggs. So if you've seen the other recipe or popped over and had a look at it before, this is a very simple recipe to make. All you do is pop everything into the bowl, mix it all up, pop it into the cupcake cases, bake it at 350 for about 25 minutes or so. I usually 15 minutes and then rotate and change my pans and then do another sort of 10 minutes or so and then test with a toothpick. But super easy, and that's it. So everything into the bowl. So we're going to start with our, now I'm going to double the recipe. So the recipe that you'll see below is going to be for 24 cupcakes, and I need 48 cupcakes, so I'm doubling this recipe. So I would normally do 2¼ cups of flour, so I am going to do 4½ cups of flour. And I've got a little ½ cup measure only because that fits in the bag better. And I don't want to squish this too much, so I'm just going to kind of loosely shake it. And we're going to pop the flour in. So there we go. So that is our 4½ cups of flour. Pop that there. Then we've got 1½ cups of sugar, so I'm going to double that. We're going to do 3 cups of sugar. There we go, our 3 cups of sugar. Then we've got 3/4 of a cup, so doubling 1½ cup of vegetable shortening. Pop that all in there. 3/4 of a cup, 1½ cups of milk. I'm using a whole milk. Right, then we've got our baking powder that we need. So we'll grab my teaspoon measure, and I need 2½, so 5 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we've got a teaspoon, so 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I am actually going to eyeball it. 1, 2. There we go. We've got 2 teaspoons of salt. 2. And then I need half, so 1 teaspoon, and this is an almond extract. This adds a really nice flavor to the cupcakes. If you've never tried it, I always add vanilla and almond extract, and it's excellent. It's one of my favorites. So do give that a try. So we'll just put that out of the way. So that is everything that we need. Oh, and we need our eggs, obviously. So 3 eggs, so 6 eggs is doubled. All in the bowl, all together, all at the same time. So then we're gonna attach our paddle for our mixer, like that. Bring our bowl up and on the lowest setting you have, and watch because it's gonna pop out. So I'm gonna actually put my little shield on here to help. So you're going to mix it a little bit just on very low till you're sure that the flour isn't going to puff out all over the place. And then I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And that gets more of the shortening incorporated and kind of broken up a bit more. Then I'm going to stop, and I'm just going to use, I've got a wooden spoon to hand or a spatula, whatever you've got. We'll lower this back down. And you're just going to scrape off that bit at the bottom. Make sure that everything is being taken up off of the bottom. So just give it a quick little stir. Scrape off my spoon. Now I'm going to bring my bowl back up, and I'm going to put my cover back on. There we go. And I'm going to go to probably a medium high. And I'm just going to mix that until it's all nice and fluffy and light. You'll see it change from what it was to very light colored and very fluffy batter. And that's exactly what I want. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Take this off. Bring it down again. And then just double check that you've got everything off the bottom again. There we go. And then one quick last little bit. And again, I'm going to use my shield so it doesn't splatter everywhere. There we go. So our cake batter is all done. We're going to use it for cupcakes though. You could use it for cakes if you wanted to. Very, very simple. So we're going to bring our handle down first. And we'll take off our spatula. There we go. And just lift to get your bowl off. So that is my giant bowl of batter. I'm going to take my beater out and just scrape off the extra batter. Don't want to leave that there. There we go. We'll pop that in the sink. So that is our nice batter that we've got. So you can see it's nice and thick. So to dollop this into my cupcake cases, I'm going to use one of these ice cream scoops that has the little moving, that scrapes out, the little bar that scrapes out your scoop. I find these fantastic for portioning different sizes. So one big scoop into each cupcake case, and that is perfect for me. So let me grab my tins with the cupcake cases in them, and I will show you how easily that works. All right, so we'll bring one of these over. And as I said, this makes 4 dozen or 48 cupcakes. The recipe that's posted below is half that, so that's 24 cupcakes, which is what I usually do, but I need 48 this time. So I'm just going to sort of tip this so you can see. So I'm just using my scoop and going in for one big dollop. Can you even see that? One dollop, and then I'm going to pop that into my cupcake case. So again, dollop, and I kind of scrape it off so that it doesn't drip all over the place. But you can get very even cupcakes, which is good because that means that they all bake at the same time. So you don't have some that are overbaked and some that are underbaked. They're all going to be done at the same time. There we go. So those are all my cupcakes done. I'll have a quick check just to make sure that they are all even and look fairly similar sized. And then they're going to go into my preheated oven that's preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're going to go in there for 15 minutes. I'm going to do 2 trays at a time, and I'm going to pop them in like that, one on top of each other, obviously on different shelves. But then after 15 minutes, I'm going to take them out, swap them, and turn them. And then that sort of makes sure that they're evenly cooked. What I find is my oven has hot spots. I'm sure yours does too. And you learn where those are. And what that means is that by turning them around and swapping shelves, that you get everything evenly baked. So they're in the oven. We'll turn on for 15 minutes. And then we'll swap them and turn them around. And then once they're finished cooking, they'll be in there for probably another 10 minutes or so until toothpick inserted comes out clean. And then once those are out, those ones will go in. I could fit them all in the oven, but then it's going to drop my oven temperature too quickly, and I don't want them to not bake properly, so I'm just going to do 2 trays at a time. So I will come back and show you what they look like when they are all finished cooking. All right, so these are my gluten-free vanilla cupcakes out of the oven. I've got one tray that I have taken the cupcakes out of and just put them on a wire rack. The other ones are still in their trays on a wire rack, so I'll take those out and put them on here after just to finish cooling them. So they were in the oven for 15 minutes, and then I swapped them and turned them around. And then they were in there for another 5 minutes. So it was only 20 minutes this time. So just make sure you check after 15 minutes, see how they're doing, another 5, and then another 5 if they need it, or another 3, sort of make that call. So these I just put a toothpick in and it came out clean, which means that they are all done. Right, and I did one extra one so that I could show you what the inside looks like. So these ones I need for a birthday party. So I can't actually break one of them open. So I had enough batter to make one. This one wasn't in a tray. So if you ever wondered what happens if you use a regular paper case and you don't use a muffin tray or a cupcake tin, this is what happens. So I'll go closer. It expands out, so it has nothing to hold it in the nice little cupcake shape. So you get a very flat, wide cupcake. There's nothing wrong with that. These are cute. They're their own style, and lots of people like that sort of muffin top style. But if you want them to look like this, then you need the muffin tin. Now you can get different cases. This is a total aside. You can get different cases that say that you don't need to have tin to put them in, but I still find that they spread just a little bit unless they're the really solid paper ones. Anyway, so the whole point of doing this was so that I could break it apart and show you the inside. So there you go. Nice and light and fluffy and moist. You can I don't know if you can actually tell, but they're still nice and moist on the inside. So super yummy cupcakes. And I'm just going to I'll pop the recipe below, but I'm just putting a buttercream icing on this. I've done the recipe before, so I'll put a link for that as well so that you can have a look if you want to watch me make some buttercream icing with the recipe that I used. So I'm just going to be putting some buttercream icing on these, but you can do whatever you want with them. Anyway, so this is my gluten-free vanilla cupcake recipe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give me a thumbs up if you did. And please subscribe to see what else I'm up to. If you have any questions or comments, pop those below and I will answer those for you. Thanks again for watching.